Hello, welcome to this episode of Hutch Clutch. I am Erin Hutchison, the founder and CEO of Vehicle Vault Auto Museum and Event Center in Parker, Colorado. Today, I have one of my favorite people with us, and I am so excited to introduce y'all to Rylie Behr. She is a powerhouse and really an amazing, sparkling human, and I can't wait to tell you more. Rylie, will you tell everybody a little bit about what you do, please?
Putting me on the spot.
Just a little bit.
I am an auctioneer here in Colorado, but I travel throughout the United States conducting fundraising auctions, and then I sell cars at auction twice a week. So that's me.
I love it. So really, an incredible thing is I've seen Rylie in action a few times, and the energy that you bring to a room, to a nonprofit, is unlike anything else. I've been lucky to work with Rylie, which you make everything so much easier for me, and thank you for that. But it's really special too because my children have met Rylie, and then my youngest, they adore you. But Mason, my youngest, actually had to do a project on what she wants to be whenever she grows up, and she said, an auctioneer like Rylie. And so it was the cutest thing, and it was so special. And then the next time Mason saw Rylie, Rylie was like, you can come hang out with me while I am actually auctioneering. So we haven't done it yet, but it will be quite the experience for everyone whenever we get that rolling, I'm sure. I can't even imagine. But tell us a little bit about Behr Benefits, please, because the work that y'all do is so special.
Yeah, so my sister and I, it was the craziest thing. I mean, I'll give you a little bit of the backstory, but I had gone to auction school in 2019, and I was dreading it. I did not want to go. My grandpa forced me. He's a farmer. He doesn't have a background in the auction industry, but his brother, my great uncle, does. And so it's just a rite of passage for our family to go. I was 19, like a young girl. The last thing I wanted to do was spend 2 weeks of my summer at auction school. And so I ended up going. I loved it so much. I was bawling my last day, and I ended up dropping out of college, out of a nursing program, to go headfirst into becoming an auctioneer. And then 2020 hit. We all know the pandemic, it put a bit of a wrench in things. And then fast forward 2021, one morning I just woke up and I just had this feeling in my heart. I just need to really dive head first. I need to get out of my comfort zone. I called my sister, told her I want to move to Colorado. I want to start this fundraising business that we've dreamed of and that we've talked about for the last year or two. And she asked me when, and I said 3 weeks. What do you think? Like beginning of May? I loaded up my car, I headed out west, and that's it. And here I am. I'm in Colorado. So.
And now we are literally like 3 years and a couple of weeks later, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yep. I love it.
And it's been amazing. I mean, we really started off with just doing, a handful of auctions, and our business has continued to grow. And we're so fortunate and so blessed to get to work with so many worthy nonprofits, ones that we believe in, and that we get to use our skill set and our passion to help them raise funds for so many people, so many deserving people.
Right.
It's the most humbling work. It's the most rewarding job. I always tell people I have the best job in the world. I wouldn't do anything else. So I'm just so lucky.
So what's so special to me, because I don't know if y'all caught this, but if I'm not mistaken, all of your siblings and all of your cousins have all gone to auctioneering school, correct?
It's a weird family thing.
No, in a good way.
To just go, yeah, we have all got my cousins. I've got a cousin back in Iowa, and he doesn't do the auction stuff, but he works as a ringman at a car auction and at different sales, and he's like nutty and wild and so entertaining to watch when he's working the floor. Haley actually went with my sister Lexi, who is a hairstylist, as you know.
She's very talented.
And she is not that way. She hates being up in front of people. Okay. Such a great conversationalist when you're one-on-one, but does not want to be in front of a crowd. And I went with my brother, who's the exact same way, okay. But they are still such good siblings and help us whenever we need it. So Haley and I really, really dove head first and loved it so much, but it's not for everyone.
Right.
You have to enjoy being the center of attention, and I always have. So.
If the shoe fits, right? Yes. I have to say, I've been fortunate enough to meet and or see in action you and so many of your siblings. And I don't know anything about this family other than they're all dynamic, because you're right, Lexi one-on-one is incredible, is very talented with hair. Don't use today as your judgment, but she does good. But no, Haley's amazing, you're amazing, Griffin's great. Like, it's just so cool to see a family really kind of come together in such a unique way. And you're all supporting each other through this fashion. And even, you know, if Lexi and Griffin aren't there daily, they're still there whenever it is needed.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. It's been really special to see you in action. So I was actually able to attend an event that Rylie had been at, and that was the first time I saw you work. And unbeknownst to me, Rylie had already worked here at Vehicle Vault several times.
Like 8 billion times. It's my favorite venue, best venue in Colorado.
Okay, thanks. You're not biased at all, but thanks, I'll take it.
Zero.
But no, then I was actually working an event here at Vehicle Vault with Rylie, and I said, oh my gosh, I saw you in action a few weeks ago. You were amazing. And she was like, oh yeah, this is like my 80th time here. And I was like, oh, well, welcome back then. Yes. But then whenever it came time for the Jesse Combs Foundation last year, I knew that there was only one call I had to make. There was no one else that I wanted to be alongside for that ride than you. So thank you for joining for that.
It was the most amazing event. I mean, you really came in and did so much for them, because they don't know, but so many of these board members weren't from here. And so you facilitated so many connections and put together this amazing auction and this incredible experience for everyone in attendance. It was such a highlight of my 2023, because, you know, it was a first year. You never know how that's going to go. You're really rolling the dice and just crossing your fingers. And the energy was amazing. I mean, as much as I was giving it to the crowd, they were giving it right back.
I was going to say, that energy was you. But I think Rylie understood, and I don't mean to put words in your mouth, but whenever we talked about the mission of the Jesse Combs Foundation and everything about honoring women in traditionally male-dominated fields, because while you and I aren't in trades, you know, we're not welders, and we're not automotive mechanics, we are both in these traditionally male-dominated fields. What is that like for you?
You know, I won't lie, I don't have this crazy story or a sob story. I haven't faced a lot of adversity, and I've been so lucky in that sense. I've actually had a lot of support from many male auctioneers. I have 2 male mentors in the car business that are so good to me, treat me like a princess, and a lot of times see more in me than I see in myself, and really push me and want me to be the best version of me that I can be professionally and personally. So I've been so lucky. I will say, I think in the nonprofit space, it's actually to my advantage. Although we make up 14% of the industry, and we're climbing slowly but surely. I think it's, in my opinion, such an advantage.
Right.
You know, we as women, it's really in our DNA. We're nurturers, we're caring, and we bring that passion. And so when we integrate into an organization, I think it's a lot easier for us, you know, and we can look at things from a different scope and a different perspective. And, you know, we're really deep thinkers. And so I think it's worked to my advantage. And even at the car auction, you know, who wants to buy a car from an old cowboy when you can buy one from a young little, you know?
Yes. Yes. I said she's one of my favorite people for a reason. But no, you're so correct. But also seeing you in action, you're a connector at your base. Like everything that I have seen you do, you are based in connections. And so, you know, as you're working for these nonprofits and really kind of the cornerstone of their fundraising efforts, if we're being honest, you're connecting not only with the organization and with board members or volunteers, you're connecting with the audience, you're connecting with their donor base, and you're bringing it all together. How is that for you? Is that challenging or is that second nature?
I think it's really second nature for me. I love people, and I think that's what I love so much about the industry I'm in and the work I get to do is the connecting and the meeting of so many new people from different backgrounds and people that I would never normally connect with and have the opportunity to meet. I mean, even being at Jesse Combs Foundation, it was really incredible to come across just people who wanted to support the mission. And I think that's another thing is it really restores your faith in humanity. I mean, we see all over the news these terrible things happening and this is going on here and this, that, and being at these fundraising events, it really does restore your faith in humanity. And you see the most amazing things, these people coming together as a community, supporting a mission, and you see contagious giving really take flight. So I think for me, it really is second nature, and I love it so much that it's just I don't even notice. I almost like black out every event, you know.
It works.
It's like
for
a
you.
fever dream.
It works for you. But no, I mean, the inspiration that you provide for, people to engage and give, it's really incredible. One of my personal favorite things that I've seen you do time and time again is you are tying things whenever it comes to something like a paddle race. You're tying things to specific pieces for the mission for that organization. That is so important because it humanizes, the work that's being done.
And it helps people understand the level of impact they can make.
Yes.
Any time you're spending money, it's going to be a little uncomfortable, right? So, for me, making it mission driven is so important because I always say if I'm not passionate about your organization, it's so disingenuous for me to stand up in front of your audience and ask them to be passionate about it. So it's really, really important for me to work for organizations I believe in and bring that passion to your event.
Okay. I love it. I love it. And you touched on it a little bit, that you get to have your faith in humanity restored and see the good in the world.
I see the best parts of people.
I love it. But we talk a lot about why here, and what is your why and what is the why for the nonprofits? What do you think is the purpose of nonprofits, and what do they give back to the world as a whole? Forget specific ones, but what is it that they provide to the community and to the world?
Yeah, I think, I think everyone faces challenges in their life. Whether you've come from a really great home, a wealthy home, with parents that stuck together, or the total opposite, where you come from a broken home and, maybe you didn't know where your next meal was going to come from. I think everyone can get behind a solid mission. And I think it's the community and the connection, and the doing good for people that really need it. People just need help. Some people just need a second chance. And I think that's something that everyone can support.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's so impactful.
And I think for me, I mentioned earlier, it's humbling. I've faced my challenges, my personal challenges, but every time I'm at an event, I just feel so compelled to do more and to give more of myself, whether it's my time, monetarily, any resource that I can give. There's really people out there struggling, and it's not always a circumstance of choice. And so I think for me, it's the ability to use what I have internally and to give it to someone who needs it. I love that.
Rylie has the biggest heart too. She really does.
Unless you catch me before I have coffee.
It depends on the day, right? But no, I talked a little bit about how great you are to my daughters, and just amazing all around.
They're so perfect in every way.
But Rylie actually has a couple more little princesses in your life. Is that a fair assessment? And so we follow each other on socials, and I saw that you were a little busy this weekend.
Yeah.
Rylie loves her people very well.
Yes,
very, very well. Yes, tell us about it. It's so cool.
So as you can hear, my voice is a little hoarse. This weekend I was in Florida at ESPN and Disney World, which was... It was a little hot, a little humid, but it was amazing. That's not what you take home with you, right? So
right.
I nannied girls for years and years. They were 1 and 4 when I met them, and they're 8 and 11 now. It's terrifying how fast time flies.
You barely blink, right?
I know. It's like yesterday they were just tiny and still in diapers, but I flew to Florida and got to watch the older one compete competitively in cheer, and they ended up bringing home the gold. And
yes.
I was like, I know it's so dramatic. But it was so special. I just bawled and bawled and bawled because I felt like when I moved out here, there was a piece of me that felt so guilty, and
like
every time.
Yes,
I went from going to every event. I was involved in everything that they did in their life to, now I'm having to schedule months in advance when I can see them next. And every time you see them, they're so much older. And so to be a part of that and to see her just achieve excellence it just made me proud, made me really, really proud. And yeah, it's amazing that I still get to be a part of their life.
I love that. But I really love Rylie's heart and the way that you approach everything. It's inspirational. It's amazing to just watch you be you and watch you take on the world and watch you support and interact with causes and people and everything that you believe in. So,
well, ditto. I look up to you so much. You're such a philanthropic person. Not only do you give monetarily, but like we mentioned earlier, you give other resources. You give the most valuable thing that anyone can give, which is your time and your expertise. So with so many worthy nonprofits, I mean, it's incredible. And we talked about it with Jesse Combs, but you just integrated yourself in. You're like, I got this, guys. Don't worry. Just show up. I've got it all handled. We're going to raise a lot of money. And
we did, thanks to Rylie.
No, it was.
She got the room
Thanks
going.
to you. We could argue about this all day.
It would be nothing without you. Yes, thank you. It is an honor to get to do some of this stuff beside you. So
I know. I love working as a team. I wish we could do it for everyone.
I know, right? Could we just do it every day?
Yeah, I think we should just take over the nonprofit space.
I think we should. I don't know how much we'd get done because we have too much fun.
I know. I think our first meeting, I came here.
Yes.
And I was so excited.
Yes.
We talked about books and all kinds of things.
Restaurants.
The first hour and a half. And then I was like, oh, well, I'm going to have to cancel my next meeting because we have not gotten down to business.
Oops.
Let's
Sorry.
do that.
Sorry.
But it was the best.
Yes.
And we've just had this awesome connection ever since. I mean, I love your family.
Love yours.
I might change my last name. I want to be one of you. Adopt me in.
Hyphenate.
Adopt me in.
Hyphenate.
But you guys are such incredible people, and your energy is so infectious. And your girls, I mean, they're such a light. They have so much of you in them. They're so incredible. They're the best. They're so
the
funny.
best part of the world.
Yes.
But I'm biased.
Yeah. Which after this, we need to schedule our crew.
We do. The children have insisted that we have a girls' dinner, but I'm not
There's
sufficient
like
on my
5
own.
things we have on the calendar.
Right.
Slumber party.
Some things have been
girls'
planned
dinner.
without me, so that's okay.
Pool party.
Fun. We're just going for it. I love it. I love working alongside you. A couple of things, because I am tricky this way. I always ask every guest,
Okay.
what was your first car and what's your dream car? And I did tell Rylie that I was going to ask her this. The fun part is she has refused to tell me until now. So you're going to get my genuine reaction to all of this. Okay, so what was your first car?
So my first car, I always say it was like a cigarette on wheels.
Oh, please tell me more.
So it was my grandma's before it was mine.
Okay.
Love her to death. She was a chain smoker, so it had that musty smell on the inside with those velvety seats. It was a 2005 gold Chevy Impala.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and it just reeked of that residual cigarette smell. But
Did you just smell like it whenever you got out of the car?
it was always a concern.
Okay.
But I was like, it's going to be what it is.
Right.
There's really nothing I can do
Right.
with my little cigarette on wheels. But it was a great car. She got me through a lot.
Good.
Unfortunately, I hit a deer, and that was the end of her. Her name was Goldie Hawn. She was incredible. And my dream car, I think you'll get a kick out of this, and I'm convinced that you're the only person that can visualize the vehicle that is my dream car.
Okay, hit me with that.
Grease. Most iconic movie. My favorite movie growing up. I was 6 years old. Like, tell me about it, stud. I was such a fan.
You were
Watched
totally
it
Sandy.
on repeat.
Okay.
1948, Studebaker Commander Regal.
Oh.
But make it light pink.
Add the little Rylie flair. I love it.
And I want to wear my pink ladies jacket. And I want to get out saying we're going to rule the school. You know, full rhythm,
little
energy.
font
Yes.
going.
Oh my gosh.
Lexi could help you with that.
Yes.
Yes, it would be amazing.
That's my dream.
So-
is just to roll around in one of those.
Yeah, now as you're working these car auctions, you have to keep your eyes peeled and be like, there it is.
I'm like, that has to be the most rare car on the planet.
I love this. If I ever get the call of like, Erin, I found it. Now you have to come pick it up.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Throw it in VV for me.
I will
know.
Everything I own. It's yours. It's yours. I'll live out of the car.
Luckily you could.
In my little Studebaker.
I love it.
Yes, so that's my answer. I would say the only other, I love a Firebird.
Okay.
So,
What era?
1973.
Oh, we didn't even have to go era. We went year. Okay.
1973. That's the one.
Okay. Good choices. I can't wait to see you rolling around in either of those.
Yes. Maybe one day.
I know.
It's my dream. Top of my bucket list.
We're gonna make it happen.
Even if I could just have like a 5-minute ride, it doesn't even have to run. If I can just sit in one,
Pretend.
I don't care how hot it is,
Okay.
just sitting there and just have my moment. And I don't even smoke, but I would.
Well, you could get
But
your
I
candy
would.
cigarettes.
Yeah, that would be perfect. Like a joke store.
I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Wait, can I reverse the question?
Oh.
Can I do a little reversal?
Oh, you can.
Okay.
Oh.
First car.
Okay.
And what is your dream car?
Okay. So my first car was a 1992 Jeep Cherokee. We've talked about this before a little bit. It had so much hail damage. It looked like it had chickenpox scars. Yes. At one point, I was driving home and I was turning across a 6-lane road, and I lost a gigantic piece from under this car. And I limped it home, and then my mother took me back to retrieve this piece. And I thought I was leaning out of her car to pick up this piece of my car very quickly. It was not light, so I fell out onto the road while picking this up. Yes, everything's fine, but it was hilarious. So I think we all have to start out with something that you're like, oh.
It has to be a humbling first vehicle.
Yes.
You know?
You can't start out with anything special.
Yeah, you had the hail damage. I smelled like a cigarette.
We would have been quite fair. But my dream.
Yeah.
Okay, so I love Art Deco cars.
Okay.
So 1930s Delahaye's.
Oh,
Tipo Lagos.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just classic.
They're amazing. Yes.
Beautiful.
Very Art Deco and round and just the curves.
Chic. I would give it chic, you know?
I think it works.
Wearing like the little ascot over your head.
Right.
Oh, I love it. I can see it now.
It's perfect.
It's amazing.
We'd be quite the pair.
Yeah, let's go on a trip and let's rent one of these vehicles and just go nuts.
Yes. Okay. Across the country. Yeah. I love it.
As if we're not busy. As if we can find a time for that. The kids are coming along.
They would accept nothing else. Yes, I think you nailed it. Yes, they would have to.
I love this so much.
Me too. Thank you so much for your friendship.
Thank you.
For all of your help and support and being you. Thank you for joining us. I treasure you. Thank you all for joining us. Please tune in for the latest episodes of Hutch Clutch. You can find them on our website, or you can subscribe to our newsletter down the road, where then you get the newest episodes delivered to your inbox. We'll see you later.